trades on indices. So here it is. Now this trade was specifically based around the 9am model. This is one of the top CRT model along with the 3am model. We'll discuss both of these models in the upcoming future in CPI, but first let's get into the breakdown. Now the key things around this breakdowns are a micro CRT within a macro CRT on the higher time frame, meaning there's going to be a smaller CRT within a larger CRT on a higher time frame, right? Now the way how you could use it to your advantage is by aligning yourself on the micro CRT on the lower time frame towards the larger higher time frame CRTs, draw liquidity or target, right? Now we'd also be discussing some parts of TSKO or the sequence as well, which is basically the sequence of moves that occurs or forms inside a CRT before the target is reached. Now TSKO has multiple sequences and I'm going to discuss it briefly here later in the video, but for now let's get in the breakdown. Now for some of you this stuff might sound a bit too overwhelming and too much for you to digest because we've only discussed market profile so far. But as I said, this is a process-based coaching program and it's going to be step by step starting with the basics. So you got nothing to worry about, right? I'll be explaining every aspect in detail in future chapters, right? Now let's get in the breakdown. Now first of all, I'm going to make sure that I integrate and explain this trade breakdown in terms of market profiles too, that was discussed in chapter 1, so that you can actually see that how you can apply that knowledge that was given to you in chapter 1 and use it in the live markets and take trades based off of that, right? So if we look at the price section here of the last 2 weeks right here on the 4-hour in terms of market profiles, then you can see that starting from here we've got this opening gap, right? And as soon as the week started, we straight away got into a ranging profile. As I had mentioned in the video that after opening time, price straight away more often than not gets into a ranging profile. Then after a ranging profile, you know that price can only have two probable outcomes, which is either a manipulation or an expansion, and in this case we got an expansion. Then after an expansion occurs, we can only have three possible outcomes, either a range, a retracement or reversal. In this case we got this range right here. Let me write it down here, right? Now after a range, again using the same logic, we can only have two profiles. We can either have a manipulation profile or an expansion profile. In this case we got a manipulation profile, and that manipulation profile ended once this candle right here closed below this candle. And the reason for it and the reason for why this candle has so much significance is because this is the candle that dug above this range high right here, and then this candle closed below that candle, so that one became our order block and a confirmation occurred and the manipulation profile ended, right? And once a manipulation profile ends, we know that we're gonna have only one possible outcome after that, and the only possible outcome after a manipulation profile ends is an expansion, but not just a normal expansion, an expansion but in the opposite direction. And you can see that we had that expansion here, and then after that expansion we had another ranging profile, and then after that ranging profile we had another expansion, right? Now when price was right here after an expansion, I started expecting a reversal, and the reason for that is that after an expansion we can only have three possible outcomes, a range, a retracement or a reversal. And I anticipated a reversal, and the reason why I anticipated a reversal is based off of two factors. The first factor is that this expansion right here took out this range low, and once a range low is taken or a key level is taken, it can offer a small reversal there. So that's why I was expecting a reversal. But not only that, we were also inside of this opening gap right here, this key level in the form of opening gap. So that two factors together made me decide that I'm going to expect reversal profile right here. Now based off of this, you can see that you could actually analyze every single price action with a logical and a rational perspective, right? Instead of looking at it in terms of patterns, right? So we actually used logic. We used a if and then logic, right? Which basically means that if this particular thing happens, then that's going to be our outcome. But if that happened, then this is going to be our outcome. So you can see that each if logic has a particular then outcome, right? Such as if a ranging profile ends, we can only have two outcomes, a manipulation expansion. Similarly, if a manipulation profile ends, we can only have one outcome, which is expansion in the opposite direction. So you can see we are actually using proper logic here, and we are not randomly anticipating or expecting a certain profile, right? We are using that based off of a proper rational logic, right? Obviously, now, in later chapters, I'm going to explain how you can expect certain profiles after a particular one has ended based on multiple factors, but that's a topic for another week, right? Now, here you can see that obviously I couldn't just take a trade right away, right? I couldn't just take a reversal trade right away. Obviously, I had to match it with a CRT that could offer a reversal trade on the lower time frames. And for that, we had this CRT candle, right? And the reason why I chose this particular CRT candle is, first of all, it's the candle that dug below the range low, right, and dug into a key level, this opening gap, and such candle could potentially act as a strong CRT range. Another factor for it is that we had inside bars and this CRT, which generated interest above and below the CRT low and generated liquidity. But not only that, the purge of this CRT occurred at a key time, which confirmed this to be a potential CRT that we can potentially trade on the lower time frame. Now, it doesn't end there. We even had a lower time frame confirmation on the 1 hour. After that, I confirmed my buys and drawn liquidity and started looking for a long trade in the form of a reversal trade. Now, let's go down to the 1 hour time frame and see what we've got there, right? Right. Now, on the 1 hour, you can see that we've got this CRT candle high right here, right, which I was looking for it to be taken in my drawn liquidity, and my target was this CRT candles high right here. Now, obviously, the purge had already happened at a key time, and then we also confirmed our buys after this candle closed above this candle right here in the form of a CSD and form this order block. Right now, obviously, at this time I was unavailable, right? I was not available, so I missed this potential trade opportunity here, but our buys and drawn liquidity was still in play, right? And I started looking for another potential trade towards that drawn liquidity on the 1 hour, right? Now for that, I started looking for a CRT, and then I find this candle right here, and then I chose this particular candle is my CRT. And the reason for why I chose this particular candle is because of two predominant factors. The first one being that this particular candle dug into this order block right here, dug into this key level, and not only that, this candle was formed at a key time, which is the 7 a.m. Eastern time. The 7 a.m. Eastern time, along with other times, is a key time for 1 hour CRT to be formed. So based off of these two factors, I decided that I'm gonna potentially trade this CRT. But not only that, on top of that, I waited for this CRT to be purged at the right time, and that CRT purged at the 9 a.m. key time. And that's why I said in the beginning of the video that this model was based on the 9am model, and the reason for that is that the purge occurred during the 9am candle, and that's why I had so much like faith in this CRT that it's gonna work out, right? And I traded that CRT on the 5 minute time frame. The reason why I chose this 5 minute time frame to trade this 1 hour CRT is based on time frame alignment. I'm going to discuss this as well in the later chapters as well. But what you need to know and note down is that if you are using 1 hour to find your CRT, then you'd have to trade that CRT on the 5 minute, right? once this high was super. Now I usually take around 1 to 2 trades per week. I don't take that much trades throughout the week. I only wait for high probability trades. That's why you wouldn't find me trading each and every single day, because that's not how trading works. If someone has said to you that you need to be trading every single day, then they don't know what they're talking about and they're full of shit, right? You only need to find 1 to 2 high probability trades throughout the week, and that's more than enough for you to make a living out of it. Now you can see right here, and euro, I only took this trade this week, and that's it, right? I'm still waiting for another opportunity, high probability opportunity, before I take another trade. Last week I took this trade and only this trade right here that I broke down for you, and this opportunity right here, and that's it.